Chaliye, dear student, we'll start. So, dear student, first of all, very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to see about 30th July, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, before starting that, let me give you a brief, objective of this discussion. So, basically, I am going to link each and every newspaper with your examination because reading newspaper is useless unless otherwise you know how you are going to use that content or that information data either in prelims mains or interview. That is what my objective, and during the discussion I'm going to give you 10 to 15 tasks, so you have to complete that after watching this video. So it is my guarantee you'll get 20 to 30 marks in your prelims easily as compared to other students, and you'll also get 80 plus marks in your mains if you are following religiously and doing the task that I'm going to give you. And how you can get this highlighted version of newspaper, you can scan this QR code to join our premium infographics edition. So there you'll find not the today PDF, all the past year newspaper PDF is available there. You can download it. Okay. चलिए dear student, start करते हैं. So first important news is three Pakistan terrorists behind the Pelgam attack killed. This is what said by our central government. So recently there is an intelligence report after that. So our security forces, IB, and the police and central armed police forces, they together killed these three terrorists that is involved in the Operation Sindoor. So next, our Prime Minister clearly stated that no one asked India to stop Operation Sindoor. This is what said by the Modi. So why our Prime Minister giving this clarification? Because repeatedly Donald Trump made claim that Donald Trump helped in preventing the war between India and Pakistan by threatening to impose economic sanction or threaten to move away from the economic trade deal if they are not immediately stopping the wars. Okay. So next is Supreme Court to begin hearing on presidential reference with states argument. So recently we have seen, so there is a presidential reference under Article 143 of the Constitution. So recently there is a president reference under Article 143 of the Constitution regarding, recently Supreme Court imposed time limit for the governor and the president to act any bill that is being passed by the either parliament or state legislature. So under this reference, they are asking whether it is appropriate for the president and governor to impose time limit when constitution itself there is no time limit is provided. Okay. So dear student, tell me in the comment box in presidential reference. So if there is a bench or constitutional bench need to be created, what is the strength of that bench? Like under Article 143, if to list to hear this presidential reference, they have to form a bench of judges. In this bench, how many Supreme Court judges minimum need to be have? So please comment in the comment box. So let me see how many of you know that. And those who are giving comment, I'll also publish the right answer, and tomorrow I'll also give you the correct answer of all these questions that I'm here giving. Okay. So next is Delhi CM approve amendment to allow women on the night shift. So recently the Delhi CM, so they announced that allowed the women to work in the night with appropriate safety measures. So Delhi Chief Minister approved amendment to the Delhi Shop and Establishment Act. So whenever you are writing in your answer, so try to incorporate this kind of law like Delhi Shops and Establishment Act. That will make your answer more authentic. Whenever you are talking about, under Delhi Shop and Establishment Act, Delhi government allow women to work. So that is what make your answer quite interesting. Okay. So next is currently the law prohibiting women from working 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. during summer and 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. during the winter because of the safety concern. So, however, to safeguard women, a comprehensive set of conditions set up like enabling CCTV camera surveillance, female security guard, secure transport facility, and constitution of internal complaint committee under sexual harassment at the workplace. So the Delhi government is also planning to take severe measure, security measure to prevent any such, abuse of female worker during night shift. And next is written consent of the woman employee will be required before allocating them the night. That means those who are not agree for the night shift, they cannot be allowed to do the night shift. The next is factory license. So this decision have been taken to promote ease of living. These are very key words. So you can note them down, and whenever in your answer you are talking about something, you can drop this keyword. They are going to make you very good marks. So you can talk about, it will promote ease of doing business, it will promote ease of living. Okay. So next is Delhi is also planning to promote the cleanliness drive. So they have started a new initiative. It is called Delhi. freedom from the garbage cleanliness drive. So this kind of word is very good, and they are also providing the a residential association, those who are those who are doing very well, so they will get reward. So reward, by giving this reward, it can set a competition among the different residential associations, so that will promote the more cleanliness. And dear student, we are providing daily answer writing program for mains 2026, so you can join that, and price is very nominal. Okay, so you'll get benefit of. And essay, you can also join, you'll get 10 essay. So coupon code is available on our application, you can join it, and coupon code limitation is for a limited period of time. So next is, will step in if mass exclusion found in the draft voter roll. So recently Supreme Court says that in case there are mass exclusion of voter from the voter electoral roll in special intensive revision drive that is being going on in the Bihar, in that case Supreme Court said will step in and protect the people. So over 65 lakh voter in Bihar may be allegedly excluded. So alleged petition, the court asked to wait till August 1st when special intensive revision electoral roll to be published, and won't hesitate to act, Supreme Court tell to the Election Commission. So the petitioner have questioned Election Commission claim regarding 65 lakh voter who are likely to be excluded from the draft list. So recently, after collection of all the data, so it is expected that around 65 lakh voter are going to be excluded. So biggest question is whether these excluded are genuine, then eligible voter, or they are like those who have such, like they are real the claim, like those who have died, or those who have migrated, those who have multiple voter ID. So that is what we need to take care of it. So next important news is Assam government to evict drive to clear the encroached forest land on Nagaland border. So recently Assam government started an eviction drive on the encroached land. So they are mostly encroached from the Bangladeshi and other international community. So they are removing it to protect the public land. And dear student, you can join our mentorship program. Here you will get year-long mentorship. We are guiding you daily answer writing, live answer writing, and answer writing evaluation, prelims test series. You'll also get daily schedule, and according to that schedule, you will also get a summarized version of that also. Okay. The next is expert flag rising debt in Punjab amid claim of taking proactive step of sound fiscal management. So recently it has been seen that in Punjab, so government debt, government loan is very high as compared to other state. So, even as the Punjab government asserted that it is taking proactive steps to manage its debt obligation, expert highlighted that competitive populism. So here, competitive political populism. What does that mean? So it is a very good term. So you can use in your examination also. Competitive populism means each and every political party at the state government, they are giving more subsidy populistic scheme rather than focusing on the capital investment, creation of infrastructure, road. So that is what very dangerous, because if each and every political party just focus on the subsidy and subsidy, so ultimately that has reduced the investment, long term investment, which is very harmful for India for any long run, because we need infrastructure like road, education for our rapid growth and reaping our demographic dividend. If we are providing free electricity and free of everything, so that is going to impact, because you will not have money to invest in the infrastructure, and ultimately in long run it is going to impact our growth now. So if you look into Punjab GDP, so like debt to GDP ratio, you can see it is rising to 48%. So if you look into encasing panel, so there is a committee established, encasing panel. So recommended that the central government debt should be 40%, central government debt should be 40%, and state government debt should be 20%. This is the sustainable level of debt. Total debt of center plus state is 60%. But what is the Punjab debt level? It is 48%, which is unsustainable. Okay. So that is what, according to the paper author, this scenario, the largely result of competitive political populism in the name of welfareism, under mobilization of financial resources, injudicious use of resource, proliferation of social welfare scheme, developmental finances. So whenever in name of, for example, now we are seeing that government are providing cash incentive directly to the beneficiary without thinking of how they are going to utilize. So that money, if you are not going to utilize properly, like people involved in buying sarees, and or you can say male person, they can use in consumption of liquors, which is very harmful in the long term. So we need to be ensured that should be used proper judiciously na. So next is medical student in Russia says he is being forced to fight in the Ukraine war. So one medical student, those are studying in the Russia, so that person claimed that he's been forced to fight against the Ukrainian border by the Russian forces. चलिए लास्ट पेज चलते हैं. सो नेक्स्ट इज, वन सेकेंड. So at least 27 killed. Russia targets prison medical facility in Ukraine. So no need to go in detail. Just have a fair amount of idea. Yes, Russia and Ukraine war is going on. What is the phase? Just on the surface is studying the surface is more than enough. So next is famine chokes Gaza as toll from the strike is 60,000. So recently we have seen there is a war that is going on between Israel and Gaza. So I've already said you the context in the previous multiple occasion why this is war is going on, and this in this 21 month wars, so more than 60,000 people have been died, and now people are suffering from hunger, malnutrition, health issue. So it is expected that more people can be died because of famine, that is hunger. Okay. So UK to recognize state of Palestine in September unless Israel commit to truce. So recently, after this barbaric act of Israel, and there has been a you can say recognition that need to be war crime need to be started against the Israel, and the violence, the level of violence that is being committed by the Israel against the Palestine led to the demand all over the world for recognition of the Palestinian state. And what is the India position? We have already recognized the two-state solution. We believe that both Israel and Palestine should be coexist, and Palestine should be have independent existence. And we all don't want that the Israel should occupy the West Bank and the Gaza Strip also. Even recently, the French also recognize the Palestinian country as a state. Okay. So, dear student, you can see here about some of feedback given by our student regarding the mentorship, because we are giving quality mentorship. So that is the reason we are getting good feedback also. So next important news is, so the minister Mut integrating AP with a Google service supply chain. So just read it. So how Google service is helpful in improving supply chain. So that is what the news is. So India may replicate pro MSME feature in future trade deals. So recently we have tried a free trade agreement with UK. What is that? It is called CETA, Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement. We have signed. It allowed 99% of Indian exported goods tariff free or zero duty, and we have allowed 90% of UK trade good duty free. Okay. So here there is a provision of MSME. That means our MSME can get benefit in case of any procurement or anything happen. Procurement, that is UK government is procuring, there is opening of opportunity for our MSME. Same thing like we are also doing negotiation with trade free trade USA and European Union. So we can have same clause for our MSME, because India is having largest 10 crore MSME already operating. So it is providing huge amount of employment. So if we can get that benefit, so our MSME is going to benefit a lot. Okay. Just study it, you'll understand. Okay. So next important news is IMF upgrades India's growth forecast in line with global optics. So recently we have seen the IMF upgraded the prediction growth of global. It is expected that at the world level growth will be increased. So India growth is also going to be increased. So IMF published World Economic Outlook. So this is already asked in multiple occasions UPSC. So you need to know about the IMF. The World Economic Outlook is published by which organization? Same. The World Bank publish global world economic prospect. So it is outlook, and World Bank is about prospect. So World Economic Prospect is published by the World Bank. So you have to study about whenever there is any report published by which organization. So you have to report it. You have to note them down. So because they can ask a question in your UPSC also. And dear student, you can join our prelims test series, okay, by scanning this QR code. So next, Kaziranga in Assam record third highest tiger density in India after Bandipur and Corbett. So this can be a very good question. They can ask about 4 or 5 tiger reserve, and it will ask ascend them, arrange them in the ascending or descending order of tiger population. So you need to know about highest tiger population is in Bandipur, second is Jim Corbett, third is Manas. So Kaziranga Tiger Reserve in Assam has a recorded third highest tiger density after Bandipur tiger in Karnataka, so Corbett in the Uttarakhand. And it can be a question like Bandipur Tiger Reserve in which state. So they can give you as a list, and they'll ask you to match the following. So whenever any tiger reserve you are coming across, so just note them down or have a look like which state is located and what kind of species, flora, fauna we have found there. Okay. So I'll say that the status of tiger is reserve, better known for one horn rhinoceros. The Kaziranga National Park. So Kaziranga National Park is better known. People are more aware about Kaziranga National Park for the tiger rather than the one-horn rhinoceros. Despite the fact that largest number of the one-horn rhinoceros are found in the Kaziranga National Parks. So Kaziranga, Manas, Assam's only limited protecting tiger, also playing an important role in restoring tiger habitat. ठीक है, so just read it, you'll understand. ठीक है, so next is letter of intent issue for campus of 4 foreign university. Pradhan announced project worth of 4,000 crore. Recently we have seen all over the world university, they are lined up to open their campus in India. So why they are lined up to open? Because India is a big market, so it can provide, there's this industry to a good amount of profit. So Union Education Ministry, Dharmendra Pradhan, issue a letter of intent to 4 university for establishing their campus. So just remember their name, so they can ask about which industry, like in state pieces they can ask about Southern Sydney University, then Victoria University, and La Trobe University in Australia, and University of Bristol in UK. So these four are one to establish their off campus. So 15 international university could establish their campus in India. Okay? So they have established. So one of them is Australia's Deakin University, University of Wollongong. So already established that in Gujarat Gift City. So Gujarat Gift City, you have to study about. It is very much important. Gujarat Gift City. So UK Southampton University in Delhi, Gurgaon. So they are establishing. So just know the name. So there can be a very good question and you can answer it. So recently it is also talking about, we have completed 5 year of national education policy, and government is planning to invest 4,000 crore on upgrading infrastructure in Central Board of Secondary Education, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya and Kendriya Vidyalaya. That means we are investing money for improvement of our education. So next important news is, this is very much important for your prelims. So I am expecting a question. So countdowns on Nisar satellite launch today. So GSLV will lift off 2,392 kg satellites. So timing, so at 5:40. So building satellite on opposite side of the world during the COVID pandemic was really hard, because it is being built by, here it is USA and this side it is India, and during COVID time there is a lockdown, so it is very difficult to collaborate and make this NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar or NISAR. So the geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV launch with 2,300 satellites scheduled to take off from the second launch pad of the Satish Dhawan Sriharikota. So it is GSLV F-16. So NASA, that will put NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar on the sun synchronous orbit. Remember that sun synchronous orbit. What is sun synchronous orbit? That means as the sun move parallelly, the satellite will move. That means it is going to utilize the light of the sun to capture all this image. Na? So will scan the entire globe and provide all weather day night in 12 days. That means it will, let's say this is the earth, it is going to rotate like this. Okay, rotate like this, rotate like this, rotate like this, and take entire picture of earth in just 12 days. So in 12 days it will give you entire picture of the earth. And this swath, like if it is rotating here to here, so it will cover a distance of camera will cover. So this distance is around 242 kilometers. So this swath distance is 242 kilometers. So next it is, I don't think this is much important, but it's talking about what are the hardship they are facing during COVID-19. When COVID-19 everything is locked down, so scientists have to move from India to NASA, ISRO to NASA to ISRO. So they are very difficult, but the collaboration is paying off because we are learning a lot from each other. So DGCA, Director General of Civil Aviation, audit flag 51 safety lapses in Air India operation. So recently, a audit found that there are so many safety lapses in the Air India operation. So next, DRDO hold back-to-back Pralay missile test flight. So you have to study about Pralay missile. So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about Pralay missile. So DRDO successfully conducted conjugative flight of Pralay missile APJ Abdul Kalam host. So this validation maximum minimum range capability with pinpoint accuracy. Pralay is an indigenously developed solid propellant quasi ballistic missile with advanced guidance and multiple warhead capability. Okay, so it's a good thing. We are developing the capabilities, but you have to study in detail, because in UPSC multiple occasions they have asked this missile like what is the range, what is the fuel, so sab पूछते हैं, so you have to study it properly. So next is Indian officials reach out to the post-Assad government in Syria. So recently we have seen the Syria government led by Basarul Assad recently removed and new government is established, and we need to ensure that there should be a good relation with the new government. So government is improving or stepping up its diplomacy to improve the connection with the new government. So next is no decision has been taken to update national population registry. This is what said by the center. So recently we are we are going to conduct the census in 2027. So there is a question that whether we are also going to prepare the national population registry, and that national population registry is very much important for preparation of NRC, National Register of Citizen. So but without national population registry we cannot prepare the NRC. So here you can see the national population registry is a first step for creation of national register of citizen. Currently only the state Assam is having this NRC. So according to the citizenship rule, so this is provided under the Citizenship Rule 2003 and Indian Citizenship Act 1955. So if anyone question asked or any question asked regarding to NPR or NRC, so you can show it is provided by you can say Indian Citizenship Act 1955 and Citizenship Rule 2003. So so the data were collected simultaneously during the first phase of 2011 census called as house listing so schedule. So like we have collected, but this year there is no plan yet taken by the government regarding NRC. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next and dear student, we are providing Odisha specific weekly current affair, daily newspaper analysis and Odisha specific test series. So it's very nominal price. We are not charging 6,000, 7,000. You can get it very nominal price, so you can practice it. The next is Manipur preparing for special intensive revision, says CEO. So same like what is going on in Bihar. So revision of electoral rolls, same type of electoral revision is also going to be in Manipur to ensure purification of electoral rolls. So they have started all the training at the block level officers. Okay. So next, this is a very important article. So please read it very carefully. So what did the International Court of Justice say on the climate obligation? So why the advisory opinion of International Justice reiterated the fundamental principle of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change? What are the opinion about the common board differential responsibility? So we are going to see one by one. So we know that International Court of Justice is a judiciary wing of UNA. So in case of any international dispute, that can be referred to the International Court of Justice. And International Court of Justice, so you have to study in detail about ICJ. So International Court of Justice comprising of judges. So they are elected for 9 years. Okay. So they are elected for 9 years, and 2/3 of 3 judge will remove in 3 years. Okay. So the advisory opinion of International Court of Justice on obligation country to reduce anthropogenic greenhouse gas emission, legal consequences of harm, failure to meet this obligation. So recently ICJ said that it is the responsibility of all country to limit their carbon emission, and if failed to do that, and then they will face the consequences. Why this is important? Because recently we have seen the action of the Donald Trump and Western country. They are evading their responsibility and they are not recognizing the damage they have caused, and because of that so many people on the developing country they are suffering. So this ICJ, it is not considering the United Nations Framework Convention entirely. It acknowledged the Kyoto Protocol, acknowledged the Paris Agreement, and it acknowledged the common but differentiated responsibility. So what do you mean by common but differentiated responsibility? I'm just explaining. Listen very carefully. That means climate action is responsible of everyone. Like if climate change is happening, so it is going to impact everyone. So it is everyone's responsibility. We all need to take actions to limit the climate change. But the developing country like USA, European Union, UK, Australia, they are developed, so they have a lot of capability. So they need to act very fast, very wide, and they have to act quickly so that the climate change will not cross this limit. On the other hand, developing country like India, then Brazil, then Africa, so they don't have developed. So they are fighting for their poverty. So stringent norm they cannot implement, so they should be given a longer period of time to limit their emission, and fund need to flow from the developed country to the developing country. So that is what the common but differentiated responsibility. So and again during Paris Agreement we all agree to limit our climate change below 2 degrees Celsius and pursue to limit climate change temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So this ICJ also recognize that we need to pursue effort to limit the climate change temperature below the 1.5 degrees Celsius. ठीक है. So I think you just study it well, so you'll understand it very well. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So I've already given you gist, so just read it. So next is free bus scheme help, but rural Indian pay more travel. So here it is a very good article. So just read it. The latest World Bank report commended India's pulling 171 million out of the poverty using formulation. So this can be a very good question. So according to the World Bank, what is the per day amount of money that can be spent that below that can consider as a poverty line? So you have to remember this 2.15. So already time and again I've seen multiple question in UPSC and state PCS. They're asking. So poverty line is calculated on the basis of $2.15 per day. So by counting that, we have reduced the poverty 16.2 to 2.3. However, the consumption base consumption basket of India changed. So this data is very important because we have reduced our poverty from 16 to 2.3. Okay. So next is though our consumption, though our if total out of the total expenditure. So you can see here. So as for household consumption survey, per capita household expenditure in rural area is 4,000 and 6,000, around 7,000 in urban area. So total consumption expenditure on household can be broadly categorized into food and non-food. So total expenditure that we are doing, it can be categorized into food item and non-food item. And the food account 47% of expenditure in rural area and 39% in the urban area. So we can see significant amount of money Indians paid on the food. So whenever their income is reduced, that means we reduce our consumption. So income is directly linked with the malnutrition. So when compared to the earlier year, so share of the food expenditure is lower. That means in earlier times, we are spending more amount of our income on the food. Now the percentage of our income, let's say earlier, let's say if we are earning 100 rupees, earlier we spend 60 rupees on the food. Let's say now our income is increasing to 1,000, but we are spending, let's say, only 400 rupees on the food. That means it is 40%. Our expenditure is, percentage of expenditure is reduced, but expenditure amount is increasing. So that is an indication that we are diversifying our expenditure on non-food item like mobile phone, recharge, transport. So that is what it is saying. And the conveyance expenditure, that means traveling expenditure, is quite high in India. That is accounting 20%. So across all major states, so bus is doing this severe, largest spending by the individual. So policies and infrastructure. So what kind of step we can take to ensure that those who are traveling, their cost is very less. So policies and infrastructure should be developed to question the cost of convenience. For example, states should transitions to the IC engine, that means the petrol engine, to electric buses, so that will reduce the ticket price. Because the diesel or internal combustion engine, so we have to burn the diesel, so cost is very high. But electric, it is charging, so cost will be very low. Then supply of the bus should be increased. So currently around 1.5 lakh bus, so that it will improve the commuter convenience and luxury also. So it is imperative that quality of buses is improved alongside their affordability. So we need to make sure that those who are traveling in the bus, it should be more comfortable. Why people are using personal car? Because traveling bus is not convenience. So if we provide that convenience, then people will not travel by using their personal car. So next is a glory to decline. So dear student, it is your homework. Please study about Chola Empire, particularly Raja Chola, then Rajendra Chola. So this is your UPSC prelims also. They've asked this question also. So they are going to ask multiple question in future also. So please study it very carefully. Even the Chola art they can ask in your mains also. So Gongaikonda Cholapuram does not need statue but basic infrastructure. So recently our Prime Minister announced that we are going to establish the Rajendra Chola statue in the Tamil Nadu, but local people, they are saying that instead of statue we need quality infrastructure. So the pomp and gaiety mark the Adi Thiruvatharai festivals, which ongoing every year in Gongaikonda Cholapuram, about 105 kilometers from the Tiruchi, Tamil Nadu. So this is to mark our birth anniversary of the Rajendra Chola I, so which is called greatest Chola empire, because he conquered large swath of area in the you can say about the I'm just drawing the map. This is Sri Lanka, Maldives. So this region, it is entirely controlled by the Rajendra Chola. It's called Imperial Chola, and have good trade relation with the Southeast Asia, China. So the prosperity of this empire linked to the overseas trade. So festival also coincides with completion of 1,000 year of maritime expenditure to the Chola Empire to the Southeast Asia. So here you can see how he maintained a vibrant trade relation with the Southeast Asia, and commencement of the construction of iconic temples. So he also constructed lot of iconic temples. So Rajendra Chola Empire was most extensive and most respected Hindu state at that time. The Gangaikonda Cholapuram, established by the Chola ruler, served as a capital of Imperial Chola about 250 year. Okay. Along with that, Brihadeshwar temple. So Brihadeshwar temple at Tanjore is built by his father Raja Raja Chola. So Raja Raja Chola is the father of Rajendra Chola, built the Brihadeshwar temple at Tanjavur. So temple at Gangaikonda Cholapuram was included in UNESCO World Heritage Site. So that means both the Brihadeshwar temple and Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple is also UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These are called Great Living Chola temples. So these are called as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So next people are saying that in we need quality infrastructure there so that they can attract a lot of tourists from different part of world. It is also fine for prime minister to announce the installation of statue of two Chola emperor, but people of the district has expected him to unveil plan for infrastructure development of this region. Dekho, now why this is news, why this article is very important, because nowadays we are seeing leader, instead of focusing on the real development, they are touching the surface issue, their emotional issue by constructing statue. Do you think that they are going to solve the problem? No, because statue is not going to improve agriculture, not going to help the creation of employment. So rather same money can be spent to create some productive employment, and that is going to helpful to everyone. So in fact, despite being a world heritage sites for more than 20 years, even Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple does not attract as many international visitors as it would, primarily because of lack of connectivity and issue. Despite being a, you can say about UNESCO World Heritage, it is not attracting huge amount of tourists. Why? Because we are not developing the infrastructure. We have not developing the amenity. Just because there is an election here, so politicians, they are saying we are constructing statue. So do you think that by constructing the statue it is going to helpful? Answer is no. So that is what this article is. Okay. So next important is why Guinea index is wrong about India. So recently World Bank published the Guinea index. It is showing that India is one of the equal country. That means our income equality, and that is means our consumption equality is not income, it is consumption equality is quite good. So it is depicting India in a good light. So after that, there is a controversy erupted among a different political party. But this article is also highlight general state of inequality that plague the India. So whenever you are talking about inequality, you have to talk about different aspect. For example, wealth inequality. So let me write in detail. So whenever you are talking about inequality, you should talk about first one is about wealth, then next one is income, then consumption, then gender, then caste, region, then urban versus rural, then digital. So these are the facets of inequality we have to talk of, but don't talk on the one aspect. So it can be a very good question for your mains na. So you can talk about income inequality, wealth inequality, consumption inequality, gender, caste inequality, then rural urban inequality. Then you can also talk about environmental pollution inequality, environmental pollution inequality. So it is the rich people who are polluting, but when it comes to the suffering, it is the poor people who are suffering. So whenever you are writing answer, it should be very you can say dynamic answer. Okay, chali. चलिए, so आगे बढ़ते हैं. So here you can see the inequality that plug India, including gender inequality, economic inequality, health inequality, educational inequality, socio inequality have always been endemic to India. With technology and modern way of life, new form of inequality such as digital banking inequality have arisen. ठीक है? So you have to discuss while talking about inequality in this aspect. ठीक है? So So this article is only about that. All data fact is given, so please read it, and this can be a very good example. So you can write a mains question. What are the different, what are the in India we have seen there has been rising inequality post liberalization, and discuss different manifestation of inequality in India. So this can be a very good mains question, so you can write it after studying it. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is adopt formalization to power productivity growth. So what is this article is about? So recently what happening in our industry? So industry, instead of hiring the labor, so they are contractualization of labor. So let's say this is an industry, so to avoid labor regulation, or complying with labor regulation, so you use some third party, and third party hire the labor. So labor is under the third party, and industry is having no responsibility. In this case, those who are hiring, they are not permanent, despite they are working for 6 months, 10 months, 8 months. So employee is not getting any sort of skills, and employees not getting also the, they have to frequently change. Let's say one worker is working for 6 months, and then that worker is go for another work, next worker will come. So in that way, the industry is not going to get any skilled person. Okay, and the informal worker, we know that. So here I'm just reading it out so you'll understand better. So recent decades, Indian formal manufacturing sector have witnessed significant negative changes in employment structure. So first one is the share of contractual labor in manufacturing sector doubled from 20 to 47%. And contractualization is detrimental to the productivity have when misuse highlight the need to promote formalization and long-term productivity growth. So when contract, informalization is also you can say affect the productivity also. So the shift towards contractualization is often view as a strategy to enhance operational flexibility and access to the skilled and when required. But problem is that when you are doing too much of contractualization, that means the industry are not complied to pay the good amount of salary. They don't need to maintain the social security, so they don't need to provide the quality of working conditions. So ultimately it is ultimately impacting the work na. So that is what the news. Then next is talking about whenever you are contractualizing, that means employee is not staying with you for longer period of time, and there is lack of sense of ownership among the employee. So that is what impacting their productivity. So in long run, it is impacting the industry as well. So what is the way ahead? Way ahead is, we need to implement the labor code. We have recently implemented, we have converted all the 44 labor law into 4 labor code. We need to implement that. So that is what going to provide flexibility of industry to hire and fire the workers. So that, while it giving flexibility of employing all this industry direct, all this worker directly by the industry, no need to involve in the third party in this process. Okay, so here you can see about, some of the recently Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Prasthavan Yojana, which provide 12% of employee contribution in employee provident fund. This kind of scheme is good for formalization of the jobs that is being created. Okay, dear student. So next is about death in the school. So recently we have seen a building in Rajasthan, school building in Rajasthan, that is being in dilapidated state, means in a broken state fault. So because of that, 7 children are died and so many students are injured. So this is a wake up call for all the school. We need to ensure proper timely disbursement of the fund and repair of all the schools, and should be zero tolerance for those who are involved in the corruption there. We need to take very strict action. So this can be a very good case study for your examination, because it's a case study. They can ask ethics also. So let's say you are the DM, this kind of incident happen, what kind of step will take. So just how the development or what are the process they are following in Rajasthan government, keep a tab of it, so that you can also have fair amount of idea if this kind of question is asked, what is going to you write. Okay, so next is this article is quite very emotional article, very real article, you can understand. So Bihar dark side of hubbub girl trafficking. So you know that the orchestra industry that is we're seeing in Bihar, the girl, they are dancing, they are using short dress and dancing. They are actually nothing but the trafficked girls who are forcefully abducted or buy from their childhood, and they are forced to indulge in such kind of things. So this article is talking about that only. So they are buying the children from different location, and they are bringing for this industry, and if they are not agree to do that, they simply face the violence, rape and abuse. So despite so many law that is aimed to protect the children, you can see about immoral trafficking act, then POCSO act, bonded labor act, but because of its lack of proper implementation, still they are facing lot of problem. So you can see about the National Criminal Record Bureau. It's also maintaining the data of how many girl has been trafficked, but that there is lack of reporting of the incident. So I think whatever given this number, this is just a tip of the iceberg. So more number of cases are not yet reported to the authorities. So what kind of step we need to take? So we need to ban all this orchestra that is employing the child labor or even children as a dancer. So we need to also confiscate their all this property, and they are using the girl from their distance location through train and other means. So we need to ensure that the like railway protective force, police force, they should keep a vigilant eye to act very fast. We need to also promote this NGO, those who are working, like you can say about in here it is given just right for the children, just right for the children. This is an NGO working for the right of the children. So this kind of NGO action need to be promoted. So just read it. So this article is good about trafficking of human being. So you will get a lot of insight. So next is interrupted growth. So industrial growth is still tied to the government spending on the infrastructure. So recently we are seeing that index of industrial production is not doing well. So in India, if government is providing more investment in the infrastructure, so that is going to have bring more confidence among the private sector to invest more. So that is going to create rapid growth. So this article is talking about that government need to invest more in the infrastructure. Okay. So dear student, this is all about the 30th July, the newspaper analysis. So I'm not making it very long because I'm just suggesting you, like I'm just giving a gist of everything. So please go through the newspaper, so study it, because newspaper studying is very essential. And I will already highlight it. Hardly it will take 30 to 45 minutes to complete everything. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and please turn on this notification button, so that you'll get a notification whenever I'm living this video. And please give suggestion, please give feedback on the comment box about what kind of suggestion you want. Accordingly we'll make this video. Chaliye, bye bye, take care.